Welcome back to the Happy Retirement Show. Thank you so much for joining us. We're back with Alecia Barnette to talk about care planning and planning for your care down the road. Now, Alecia, I have family friends of mine who just this past March got a letter. They're in their 80s. They got a letter from their long-term care insurance company. And I've said for years, I don't believe in traditional long-term care insurance because they got a letter back in March. Their bill was $11,000 a year for their premium. When they had taken this policy out almost 20 years ago, they paid $3,000 a year for the same coverage. Now, it's gone up over the years, but they started paying $3,000. Now they're paying $11,000, and they have a choice. Do I keep it? And I can't get anything else. Do I keep paying? Do I lose it? What do I do? What should people do?
Well, if you've had a rate increase on an in-force policy, what I can tell you is even though it's expensive in that's one circumstance that you're talking about. In fact, I've seen some pretty ugly increases over 200%, with over the years. But if you have a policy and that happens, a lot of people immediately either want to cancel or reduce their benefits. What I can tell you is that these policies were underpriced. So unfortunately or fortunately, you didn't pay a lot 15, 20, 30 years ago when you bought these plans. And it was kind of a perfect storm. Interest rates were extremely high. Persistency was high, meaning people kept their policies. They didn't get rid of them. And the insurance companies and the actuaries didn't account for interest rates dropping and for people keeping their policies. So as a result, these policies were underpriced, and now we're seeing these massive rate increases. What I can tell you is if you're 80 years old, it would be very difficult to replace your contract because it's going to be so much pricier because you've aged, right? So you're still getting a deal. If you can afford it, keep it. If you can't afford all of the premiums, then meet with your advisor, meet with the team, let us look over those policies because there might be some things that we can do to reduce the benefits, but keep it a rich enough plan to be able to help cover the cost when you need it. And for those of you that haven't bought a plan, now instead of renting, that's what I like to call traditional long-term care because rates can go up and you have no exit strategy, there's no death benefit. There's newer policies called asset-based long-term care, which is more like owning your contract.
So for people that have a bad taste in their mouth from traditional long-term care insurance, they think the price isn't guaranteed, it's use it or lose it. If I don't use it, which let's be honest, who really wants to use their long-term care insurance? But then there's nothing left over. I pay for years, and there's nothing left. That's not necessarily the case today with some other solutions that are available. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. So again, I use the analogy renting versus owning. So these newer policies that have been around, they've been around for a while, but people historically didn't know anything about them. And now they are certainly about 99% of the solutions out there today, and they're written on life insurance or annuity chassis. So if you live and need care, you still have that tax-efficient leverage for long-term care purposes, much like the standalone or traditional. However, if you wake up an angel and you don't need long-term care, you have a death benefit associated with it. And if you change your mind, unlike renting, you have an exit strategy. You can get some or all of your money back. So a lot of these newer solutions, they have these guarantees that you just can't get on the traditional long-term care chassis.
So it sounds like to me it's an important enough solution that don't let a bad taste in your mouth from something that has happened to either you, your parents, somebody that you knew. Don't let a bad taste in your mouth turn into a misconception that prevents you from having a plan. And whether that is an insurance-based solution or not, know what you would do before you need to. That's the key idea. If we can be of service to you, visit ghwealthadvisors.com. ghwealthadvisors.com. Make sure you like this video, hit subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Start building a more secure future for you and your family. Take the first step toward financial clarity by scheduling a no-cost, no-obligation consultation with Grayhurst Wealth Advisors. See if we're the right fit for you by scheduling a consultation. Call us today at 513-984-5999 or click the link in today's show description to get started.